Hey folks, Joe here. Today we're going to play around with another experimental sling. Now this design was inspired by Tombalane on slinging.org. I'll link that thread down in the description. What happened was I had posted the last video I did of a multi-pouch sling, and he posted a picture of the egg holder from a refrigerator and asked if anyone had used that design before. Today we're going to see if it works. Now one thing with this, I'm not sure quite what to call it. It's definitely not a multi-pouch sling because there's only one pouch. But when I think shotgun sling, I think lots of smaller projectiles, whereas this is going to throw my full-size 2.5-inch ice balls. Either way, we'll see if it works or not. The length of this sling, I ran out of paracord, so it's a little bit shorter than I normally prefer, but it's still, the sling length is about 25 inches, a little over, or around, I think, 64 centimeters, give or take. So that's still plenty long for a good sling, but let's give this a try and see if this design works. Let's go. All right, just a couple more things real quick. And one thing just to note, if I come and talk to the camera, I'm gonna have to squat down pretty low. I don't normally sling here, but it's real hot out here today, so I wanted to keep my camera out of the sun. But the distance to the target is about 50 feet or around 15 meters, I think. And the sling pouch is a piece of red oak, but I just punched holes in it, and it is water sealed, so if this ice starts melting, it shouldn't be a problem. Let me load up here. And there we are. And as usual for all these experimental slings I do, this is gonna be my first time throwing this thing. Let's see how it does. All right, first thought, pretty broad spread for that. I actually hope those show up well enough because it is going into the shade. I might actually check it here and move if it's not. But no, got one hit on target, but that felt pretty good. Let me load up again here. This does seem to throw a lot wider than the 4-pouch sling that I made, but let's do a few more and see if that holds. The ones when I have hit the target or been close to it, that feels right on the throw. That feels like a good release time. But then there's at least one in that group, or most of them, are way off to the right. So it would seem that I'm releasing way too early. For this one, I'm going to try a slight adjustment on the technique. As for these first ones so far, I've been throwing like I would normally throw a tennis ball or an ice ball or any projectile, very much with the arm. For this next one, I'm going to keep my arm stiffer and try more of a shoulder rotation like I did for when I was slinging the big stones. That was way too low, but those seem to be a little more on target. I should have did this earlier. As with other heavy object slinging, this is starting to take its toll on my finger. See, I can't switch it. My mind is completely focused on that first ball. That's why it's coming closer and hitting the target, and all the rest are way off to the right. I can't I can't make that adjustment. My brain is just on that first ball. That was a pretty good throw. I think that was ball number 2 in the lineup that actually hit the target. Let's see if I can set up and get a slow motion shot or two of this release. Okay, I set this angle up and did a test, and it looks pretty good. I'll be right up there. You can see my marker on the ground. But let's do a slow-mo and see what it looks like. All right, a couple more things, and then we're going to do one more thing with this sling for today. One thing I had commented on about me kind of focusing on the lead ball, the one that was furthest to the left, and that one kind of being where I was throwing at the target. Part of me is wondering, and I didn't think about this till a minute ago, if it's because this sling is shorter than I'm used to. So everything is just ending up to the right a little bit too much. But that aside, I think this does make a bigger spread than the multi-pouch sling that throws 4 ice balls like this. So we're going to do one more thing with it that I haven't done with any of my multi-pouch slings or shotgun slings. I'm going to do some distance throws with this. I've got it angled back just at the trees there. I'm not sure how well this is going to be picked up, but we'll give it a go. That was not impressive at all. All right, guys, just a couple follow-up things for today. First off, this thing is killing my finger. If I had enough paracord, I'd change it, or if, just in thinking about this, I'd want to set this up with either a wrist loop or a loop that went around multiple fingers, whether it be separate ones for 2 fingers or just one big loop over multiple fingers, because this is just really taking its toll on my hand. Just in general, I don't think this is the best design if you want to throw multiple projectiles at once, although it is a quick and easy make and does do the job. Now, that said, there is one adjustment I'm going to make to this, and we're going to do this whole thing again. You can see that this is my release cord right here, but both cords go in. I'll see if I can get in closer. I don't know if it'll pick this up. But they go in through the top of the sling, and then on the bottom, I just have a knot to hold them in place. So what I want to do is the retention side will stay the same. But on the release side, what I'm going to do is take this off. I've got 2 shorter pieces of paracord left. So I'm going to feed those lines through the other way. So they come up and they're knotted on the top of the sling, and then they'll wrap around it when I'm actually holding it. But what I'm going to do is put a release cord on each side of it. So I'm effectively going to turn this into a Y pouch version. But that'll be another day coming up here. But we're going to jump right to it now. Here we go. Hey guys, for you this is going to have been a quick jump. For me, this is literally 4 weeks later. Just with other slinging and weather and other commitments and stuff, I just haven't had a chance to get back out here with this thing. But here's our sling, and as I mentioned, I've got the release cord broken into two. So we're gonna see if this works better as a Y pouch. If I do some stuff, like I said, it's been 4 weeks, so if I start repeating something I said earlier or whatever, just forgive me on that. But let's jump in, just start throwing some ice and see if this looks like it works any differently. Let's go. Okay guys, just a couple more things real quick. Target I think is a little bit closer. I don't remember. I think I was at 50 feet before. This one's just a hair under that. It's at about 48 feet or about 14 and a half meters. Going right to the glove because I know I ended up using that before last time. And plan's the same. I'm just going to throw some here for a little bit, see what the spread looks like. Then we'll try to get some slow motion shots. Although different on that, last time I did all the slow motion shots from one angle. I'm going to try to mix that up and do a slow motion shot from a couple different angles with this. I just didn't even think of that with the last one. But so about 14 and a half meters. Let's go. Oh, something else I forgot to mention too. I did start just mentally thinking of this as a quad pouch. So I'm going to go with that unless someone comes up with something better. But here's a Y pouch, quad pouch. That name's horrible. That might have been a little better. Let me see if I can get them up off the ground. I think these are coming out better. I'm not positive though. Let's do a few more. But on that, I am still narrowed in on that ice ball that's the most to the left, because that one hits the target and all the other ones are to the right. I like that throw better. It was one of the center balls that hit the target. Right center Diana too. Two on target. I like that. Alright, just kind of quick analysis. I might have to pull this because I think I'm doing better with this. There's no question with that over the other one. So I don't know if I just happen to be throwing this better, or if it is because this has the Y pouch. But I might switch the release cord back to the other one because I still have the other one, and throw it a couple times and see if I do as well with that, because I think that'll give us a better comparison. I have to say, this doesn't feel as clean in the release. I wouldn't have expected a pouch like this for that to make that much difference. But I don't know. I'll be anxious to see the spreads on the video to see how those compare. But if anything, the Y pouch having the separate release cords, that feels like a cleaner throw. Whether it actually is or not, I'm not sure. Let's get some slow motion. Okay, this is gonna be the first angle, and got my camera in harm's way here a little bit. I really hope I don't hit it, but I think this is a little more in front than the other slow motion angle I got. So I'm actually using the single release cord here first, and I'm just gonna do one throw with it, maybe two, but just to try to get another angle with this, and I'll be right here. So hopefully I don't hit the camera. Whoops. Okay, well, no more front angle. My phone did survive. We're just like 5 minutes later. But the back of it, I didn't hit the camera lens either. I hit the other side of it. So it has a big, the spider web shattering pattern, but everything's still together and the phone is still working. But maybe this way. Position is now over here, so phone is completely out of the way, and if this angle isn't so great, we'll just have to deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to throw one more with the single release cord, then we'll do a few with the Y pouch, then some distance, and we'll see how this all looks. All right, here we go, slow motion with the 2 release cord version. So another note, I do feel bad about hitting my phone, but it does feel kind of good to have joined the I broke my phone while slinging club. We need t-shirts for that. Alright guys, 12 more ice balls. Same as before, I'm just going to do a few distance throws just to see what that feels like. I know with the other one it didn't work that great because I'm still using smaller projectiles, but you're adding a lot of weight because you're throwing 4 of them, so it kind of removes your ability to throw at long distance, and each projectile doesn't have all the weight behind it for a shorter throw. Let's see. Alright guys, just some final thoughts. Same as the single release cord. Distance slinging doesn't work very well. Just for a point of reference, the brush line up there, I just measured it, is about 105 feet away. So I don't know what that is offhand in meters, probably around like 30 meters, give or take. But does this design from Tombolayne work? Yeah, I think so. I think it's a little bit wider spread than the sling I made that had 4 individual pouches. But I'll put a clip of that just so we can see one back to back. But this is definitely a way faster load than that. You just set them in and go. There's no loading a pouch, and you can have just 1 or 2 release cords. Now on the regular version versus this Y pouch style, I do like this better. The release does feel cleaner. With it the other way with a single release cord, it just feels like there's a little bit more of a drag when everything's coming out, which makes sense, there should be. So I do like this better, and I think this also is easier to aim, because one thing I had with this, at least 2 or maybe 3 times, I actually had 2 projectiles hit the target with 1 throw. With the single release cord version, I didn't have that ever. But no, I think the design isn't perfect, but it works. Cheers.